It's 1888. You're in Paris, but this isn't the city of light you've heard about. This is its grey, stone underbelly. You are in a cold, sterile room in the prefecture of police, a place that smells of damp wool, stale tobacco, and antiseptic. A man you don't know, with methodical, uncurious hands, guides your head forward. You feel the shocking cold of nickel-plated steel as it touches your temples. 2 forks, a human caliper, pressing against your skull. Another piece of metal, a brace, is wedged between your teeth like a horse's bit, locking your jaw in place, forcing saliva to pool in your mouth. Your chin is pushed onto a worn, greasy wooden rest, hollowed out by the chins of countless others before you. The air is thick with a strange, sharp perfume, chalky, metallic. It's the smell of magnesium powder, waiting to be ignited. It stings the inside of your nose and bites at the back of your throat. The entire room seems to be holding its breath. The operator, a man with obsessive, intelligent eyes, raises a hand. A silent command. A flash erupts like a miniature sun, so brilliant it feels like a physical blow. The world goes white, a searing afterimage burned onto your retinas, then black. You hear a dry, final click of a shutter. Now, a hand grips your jaw. Turn your head. Profile. He doesn't ask, he compels. You stare at the blank wall, your ears suddenly the most important part of you. Another flash. Another click. 2 seconds. 2 slivers of time. 2 pictures that will outlive you, that will define you, that will become you in the eyes of the state. The question that should be screaming in your mind is, who decided this would be your official face? And why does that clinical, violent decision, made over a century ago in a dusty room in Paris, now control the phone in your hand, the airport gate you walk through, and the camera that watches you from across the street? Here it is. Our central artifact. The end product of your ordeal. A single piece of cardstock, about the size of your hand, its edges softened and grayed by 1,000 thumbs. It smells faintly of old paper, dust, and gum arabic, the adhesive used to fix your image to the page. This is a Bertillon card. And there you are, fixed to it forever. 2 albumin prints, staring out from the past. The one's just taken of you. One, full face, looking dead ahead into the lens, into the future. The other, in perfect profile, as if you're a Roman emperor on a coin. The light is flat, brutally honest. The background is a featureless gray void. There are no shadows to hide in, no context, no story. Just the raw geometry of your head. But the pictures are only half of it. Below them, a grid. A cold, neat ledger of your humanity. This is where they have unmade you and remade you as data. A clerk, with beautiful, flowing handwriting, has filled in the boxes. Head length, 188 millimeters, head breadth, 159 millimeters, left middle finger, 11.9 centimeters, left foot, 27.2 centimeters, left forearm, or cubit, 46.8 centimeters. Your body has become a string of numbers. But it doesn't stop there. Under distinguishing marks, small, crescent-shaped scar, right eyebrow. Faint pockmark, left cheek. Tattoo of an anchor, faded, on left wrist. Every part of you is broken down, measured, and filed away. Then, in a separate section, is the most intricate part, the portrait parle, the spoken portrait. This is where the clerk translates your living, unique face into a clinical, standardized vocabulary, a language only the initiated can speak. Nose, profile, concave. Bridge, low. Base, elevated. Ear, helix, superior, open. Lobe, descending, not fused. It's a Frankenstein's monster of language, stitching together anatomical terms to create a version of you that can be read out loud, transmitted by telegraph, a wanted poster made of words. Your face has just become paperwork. Your identity has become a formula. So who is the architect of this ritual? Who is the high priest of this new science of identity? His name is Alphonse Bertillon. And to understand him, you have to understand the world that made him. Late 19th century Paris was a powder keg. It was a city of breathtaking beauty and progress, but also a city of deep, grinding poverty and social upheaval. Its population had exploded. People were pouring in from the countryside, anonymous, disconnected from the village life where everyone knew everyone. They were disappearing into the teeming, winding streets of the city. For the police, it was a nightmare. Crime was rampant. And criminals were ghosts. They'd get arrested for theft, give the name Jean Martin, serve a short sentence, and vanish back into the metropolis. A month later, they'd be arrested again, this time for assault, and give the name Pierre Durand. The police had no reliable way of connecting the dots. Their records were a chaotic mess of names, which could be changed at will, and hazy written descriptions that could fit a dozen men. They were fighting a rising tide of crime with water-soluble ink. Into this chaos walks Alphonse Bertillon in 1879. He wasn't a policeman. He wasn't a detective. He was a low-level records clerk, a failure who had been kicked out of both the army and medicine. He was the son of a famous physician and statistician, living in his father's shadow. He was quiet, meticulous, and utterly, pathologically obsessed with order. He looked at the police department's chaotic records and saw not a crisis, but an opportunity. An opportunity to impose scientific order on human chaos. In 1882, he formally proposes his system. He tells his superiors, stop relying on names. They are fleeting. Stop relying on photography alone. It's inconsistent. Stop relying on descriptions. They are subjective. Instead, trust the one thing a person cannot change after the age of 20, the dimensions of their own skeleton. He brings the dry, academic science of anthropometry, the measurement of the human body, into the grimy, violent world of law enforcement. His motto is simple and revolutionary, measure the body. Standardize the pose. file what you can fix. At first, the police hierarchy mocks him. This quiet, strange clerk with his calipers and measuring tapes and complex filing systems. He's a laughingstock. But his boss gives him a chance. A 3-month trial period. No staff, no resources, just a corner of a dusty room. Bertillon works relentlessly. He measures every prisoner he can get his hands on, building his archive one card at a time. The weeks tick by. Nothing. The trial period is almost over. His career, his entire idea, is about to be tossed on the trash heap of failed Parisian experiments. Then, on February 20th, 1883, a man is brought in. He gives the name Dupont. Bertillon takes his measurements. He consults his meticulously organized files, indexed by head breadth. And there it is. A perfect match. A card for a man arrested 2 months prior, a man named Martin. Bertillon presents the evidence. The man confesses. It's the first time, the very first time, a repeat offender has been identified in Europe by objective, scientific means. The laughter stops. Alphonse Bertillon becomes a national hero. His system, Bertillonage, is adopted as the new gospel of policing. The filing cabinets at the prefecture begin to swell, drawers overflowing with thousands upon thousands of cards. Thousands of faces, organized not by the vagaries of a name, but by the immutable mathematics of bone. The city's memory was being rebuilt, one measurement at a time. The idea is too powerful to stay in Paris. Like a virus of order, it spreads. Across Europe, then across the Atlantic to the United States, propelled by glowing reports from world's fairs and international police congresses. Police departments in New York, Chicago, London, Berlin, Buenos Aires, they all want their own Bertillon system. The ritual is replicated in city after city. The same gray backdrops. The same uniform lighting. The same stark, two-shot grammar, front and profile. It feels like the ultimate victory of science over sin, of order over chaos. A way to make every human being legible, knowable, and ultimately, controllable. The system felt perfect. Godlike in its certainty. Unbeatable. Until one day, in 1903, in a place as far from Paris as you can imagine, a federal prison in Leavenworth, Kansas, the perfect system broke. A new inmate named Will West is being processed. The records clerk, a man named M.W. McClaughry, follows the Bertillon procedure to the letter. He's proud of his scientific methods. He measures Will West's head, his feet, his fingers. He notes his scars. Then he walks over to the vast filing cabinet that contains the records of every inmate. Confidently, he pulls out a card. He smirks. "Aha," he says. "We already have you. You've been here before. Your name is William West. Here are your measurements. And here," he says, sliding the card across the desk, "is your photograph. The man on the card is identical. The name is the same. The measurements are a near-perfect match. It's an open and shut case." But Will West just shakes his head. "That's my picture, sir, but I don't know you. I've never been to Leavenworth before." McClaughry is flustered. This has never happened. The system is never wrong. He calls his superior. They double-check the measurements. They are virtually identical. The photographs are spitting images. They are about to charge Will West with lying to a federal officer, a serious offense. But then comes the twist. A shocking, system-shattering revelation. On a hunch, an officer checks the records of the prison's current inmates. And they discover that the other William West, the man on the card, is not only a real, separate person, but he is currently serving a life sentence in that very same prison. They bring the second William West to the office. The clerks stare in disbelief. Two different men. Unrelated. With nearly identical faces and bodies. The one in a million chance, the statistical impossibility that Bertillon's system had sworn couldn't exist, was standing right in front of them. The story becomes a legend in the world of forensics. It doesn't completely kill Bertillonage overnight, but it exposes a fatal flaw. The body wasn't the unique signature Bertillon believed it to be. Luckily for law enforcement, a new technology was waiting in the wings, one that promised true, irrefutable uniqueness: fingerprinting. Proponents of fingerprints, a method Bertillon himself arrogantly dismissed, used the Will West story as their ultimate proof. The two men looked identical, their bodies measured the same, but their fingerprints were completely different. Fingerprints rush in to become the new gold standard. But the mugshot, the Bertillon style, front-end profile mugshot, that persists. It's too useful a tool of visual categorization. It's no longer the final scientific verdict, but it remains the visual anchor. The public face of crime. A picture that instantly separates us from them. But here's the critical insight. This obsession with capturing, curating, and controlling the face is not new. Power has always been interested in faces. But before Bertillon, we, the people, often held the brush. We chose the masks. Let's go back in time, to ancient Rome. In the atrium of a wealthy patrician's home, they kept a special cupboard. Inside were the imagens maiorum, the images of the ancestors. These weren't paintings or sculptures. They were wax masks, cast directly from the face of a family member at the moment of their death. These were death masks, capturing every line, every wrinkle, the very essence of the deceased. During a grand funeral procession for a member of the family, actors would be hired. They would wear these masks, dress in the robes of the ancestor they were portraying, and ride in the procession. It was an astonishing sight, generations of a family's dead, brought back to life, riding through the streets of Rome. It was a powerful political statement, a piece of theater that said, we come from these great men. We carry their blood, their honor, their power. It was remembrance as a claim to status, a curated history of greatness. It was a mask you chose to broadcast your legacy. Or let's leap forward to 18th century Venice. A city built on water, a city of secrets, spectacle, and masks. During the long season of Carnival, and at other specific times, Venetian law allowed, and sometimes required, citizens to wear masks. The most famous was the Thbata. This was a full costume, a ghostly white mask with a sharp, square jawline, a black tricorn hat, and a sweeping black cloak called a tabaro. The brilliant, angular design of the mask's jaw pushed away from the face, allowing the wearer to eat, drink, and speak, all while remaining completely anonymous. And in that anonymity, the rigid social hierarchy of Venice dissolved. A powerful nobleman could gamble and gossip with a lowly servant. A politician could secretly meet with a foreign agent. A wife could have a rendezvous with her lover. The Bada was a great social leveler. But there was also a darker, more alluring mask, the Thmaretta. It was a simple, unadorned oval of black velvet. It had no straps. A woman held it in place by biting down on a small button on the inside. It made her strikingly beautiful, mysterious, and totally silent. Her silence was part of her power and her allure. Think about that design. One mask is designed to let you speak freely, the other is designed to take your voice away. These are masks we choose. They are tools to edit our identity, to play a role, to perform a different version of ourselves. They are interactive and contextual. Even in the rarefied world of art, on the Japanese no stage, a single mask carved from a block of cypress wood can contain a universe of emotion. A skilled carver will create a mask with a deliberately neutral or ambiguous expression. To a novice, it looks blank. But the master no actor spends a lifetime learning how to use it. A slight downward tilt, catching the stage lights from above, and the mask is filled with a profound sorrow. A slight upward tilt, and the shadows shift, creating the illusion of a smile. This is Yugen, a deep, mysterious grace. The emotion isn't in the wood, it's in the performance, in the angle, in the sacred partnership between the actor, the mask, and the light. The face is an interface, a story we tell through subtle shifts and movements. But the mugshot comes and declares that the story is over. The mugshot is power's mask. And it has a strict, brutal grammar. Frontal. Profile. Neutral light. No shadows. A number pinned to your chest. This isn't about revealing personality, it's about eliminating it. By standardizing every variable, the pose, the light, the background, the only thing left to analyze is you. Your supposed flaws. Your biological deviance. The system is designed to make you the only variable, the problem to be solved. And this grammar, this visual language of control, starts to seep out of the police station and into every corner of modern life. In a strange twist, the same logic that pins a criminal to a card is repurposed to grant freedom. The year is 1922. World War I has shattered empires and redrawn the map of Europe. The Russian Revolution has created waves of exiles. Suddenly, hundreds of thousands of people are stateless. They have no country, no papers, no official identity. They are human ghosts. The Norwegian explorer and diplomat Fridtjof Nansen comes up with a revolutionary solution, the Nansen Passport. It was a simple booklet, issued not by a nation, but by the League of Nations itself. And what was the key to its authority? A photograph. A photograph produced to a specific, standardized set of rules. Neutral expression. Both ears visible. Clear lighting. Sound familiar? For a refugee escaping the ashes of their former life, this photograph wasn't a mark of shame, it was a passport to a future. A face, standardized and approved by an international body, became a key to cross a border, to find a new home, to become a person again in the eyes of the world. The mask of power, it turns out, can also be a key. But you have to wear it exactly right. And we see this pattern everywhere. Think of the plague doctor of 17th century Europe. In a city gripped by the terror of the Black Death, this figure appears. A long waxed gown, a wide-brimmed hat, a wooden staff to examine patients from a distance, and most importantly, that terrifying, bird-like mask with glass eyes and a long beak stuffed with aromatic herbs, juniper, and vinegar-soaked sponges. The medical theory was that the plague was spread by miasma, or bad air, and these sweet-smelling herbs would purify it. Did it work? Barely. But that wasn't its only job. It was a performance of authority. It was a uniform that shouted into the panicked, hysterical streets, "Stand back. I am in control. I am science. I am not afraid." It was a mask designed to manage fear, both the doctors and the public's. From the mugshot to the passport to the doctor's beak, systems of power need legible, predictable faces that serve a function. They need faces that fit the template. So how did we get from a glass plate photograph in Paris to the phone in your pocket that knows you from every angle? The technology evolved at a blistering pace, but the underlying principle, Bertillon's grammar of control, never left. It was encoded into the DNA of our modern world. That old-fashioned head brace, those two cold metal forks that held a prisoner still. That's the glowing digital square on your smartphone screen today. When you set up your facial recognition, it tells you to move closer, hold still, fit your face within the lines. Center your face in the frame. Move your head slowly to the right. To the left. Up. Down. You are performing for the system, just like the man in that Paris jail. Only now, you are the willing operator, and you are doing it in the comfort of your own home. And what you're creating isn't a photograph on a card, it's a complex, three-dimensional biometric template. A mask made of pure math. When you set up Face ID, your phone's TrueDepth camera projects over 30,000 invisible infrared dots onto your face, creating a precise depth map. It's a digital Bertillonage on hyperdrive. You are teaching a powerful algorithm what to accept as you. You learn, instinctively, to perform the compliant face so the gate will open, the phone will unlock, the bank transfer will go through. That's the true legacy of Bertillon. An entire world that has learned to pose for a machine. Think about all the modern rituals. The EGOTs at the airport, where a camera compares your tired, jet-lagged, living face to the perfect, idealized digital one stored on your passport chip. The to know your customer selfies you take for a new bank account, forcing you to blink or turn your head to prove you are a living being and not a deepfake. Liveness checks. We are constantly being asked to prove not just that we are who we say we are, but that we are us, right now. And behind the scenes, in the dark, it gets more disturbing. The tools you use for convenience are also being perfected as tools of control. We now have to contend with the certainty that these systems are deeply flawed. Study after study has shown that facial recognition algorithms have significantly higher error rates when identifying women, people of color, and transgender individuals. Why? Because the massive datasets used to train them were disproportionately made up of white, male faces. This isn't a small bug. It leads to real-world harm. People have been wrongfully arrested, kicked out of public venues, and denied access to essential services because a faulty algorithm made a mistake. A digital echo of the Will West case, but with far more dangerous consequences. Then there are companies like Clearview AI, who decided that the entire public internet was their personal photo album. They scraped billions of our photos from social media, our profile pictures, our vacation snaps, photos of us at weddings and protests, without our consent, creating a colossal, searchable database of faces that they then sold to law enforcement agencies. Every face becomes a potential file. Every person becomes a potential suspect, their entire public life searchable in an instant. And so we find ourselves living between two mirrors. In one mirror, we see the face we carefully stage for the world, our perfectly curated profile pictures, our artfully filtered selfies, our digital avatars in video games. In this mirror, we are the curators. We choose the angle, the light, the smile. It's the modern version of the Venetian botta or the Roman ancestor mask. We are performing an identity of our choosing. But in the other mirror, the one held by systems of power, our face is extracted from us. Scraped, scanned, measured, and filed. It's the face we are given. Neutral. Indexable. Permanent. It is the silent, staring heir to that magnesium flash moment in Paris. Let's go back one last time to that room. 1888, hold the original Bertillon card in your mind. Look at the man's eyes. They aren't scared. Not exactly. They're steadied. They've been coached into a blank neutrality by a machine that understands the geometry of a skull better than the geography of a soul. That card, and the system it represents, made a promise. It was the great promise of the Enlightenment, the promise of fairness through objectivity. Same light, same pose, same distance, same measurements. No more subjective judgments from unreliable policemen. Just the pure, cold, impartial facts of the body. But sameness is not justice. Sameness is a language that only rewards what it can easily measure. It is a logic that mistakes legibility for truth. It files away the data points and throws out the complex, messy, beautiful human being. And that archive, that massive collection of faces Bertillon built, it didn't just remember people. It instructed. It taught an entire generation of institutions what a criminal was supposed to look like. It reinforced biases about class, race, and ethnicity. It taught police how to see, and who to see as a threat. And in turn, it taught all of us how to be seen. A century of posing for IDs, for passports, for school photos, for security cameras, has trained our bodies. We have internalized the grammar of the mugshot. That same friction now lives in your pocket, on your desk, on the wall of every convenience store. Do you turn your face to the sensor willingly, because it's convenient? Or do you do it because the door won't open, the salary won't be paid, the service won't be rendered otherwise? Every system, from Bertillon's creaking wooden filing cabinet to the silent, invisible logic of the algorithm behind your phone's lock screen, carves a mask for you to wear. Your digital face, at the bank, at the border, in the social media feed, is the direct descendant of that chalk-dusted room in Paris. And it matters. It matters profoundly. Because the hidden choices coded into these systems, the biases baked into the algorithms, the unspoken assumptions in the datasets, now decide who gets approved for a loan, who gets flagged at a security checkpoint, who gets offered a job interview, and who gets misidentified and pinned to a single, terrible picture that will not let them go. The central question of the 21st century might just be this: if the only version of you that is allowed to move freely through the world is the standardized, frictionless, machine-readable one, which parts of your real face, your unique tilt, your hard-won scars, your spontaneous laughter, your defiant sneer, are you willing to leave at the gate? So, before you click away, take a moment. Look at your own face in the reflection of the screen. Think about the masks you wear. Audit the daily rituals that ask for your face, and ask yourself what you're getting in return for that piece of yourself. And when you're done here, don't just close the tab. See what mask the algorithm has chosen for you next. Click on whatever video it's recommending on your end screen right now. Let the current of the digital world pull you along. And as it loads, leave a comment below. It's a simple one: what mask, real or digital, do you choose to wear every single day? Is it a professional profile picture? Is it your gamer avatar? Is it a uniform you wear for work? Let's talk about the faces we build. And if you believe that understanding these hidden systems is crucial to navigating the future, then subscribe. Because the archive is vast, and we are just getting started.